Complaining about Orlando Pirates, but also going on the other side, you look at Siwelele. I thought the coach's influence was key because he influences the game to another level, bringing on two substitutes that combined to get the winning goal. I thought Clifford was amazing in terms of great anticipation, believing that the ball is going to come, and he ends up getting that crucial touch. So good tactical changes coming from the coach of Marumo, and that's how they win the game.
And that is obviously Siwelele Marumo. And you look at Lafayette, I mean, a coach who is the youngest in the top flight, has been with PSG juniors, managed to do very well in the first season at Stade Abidjan, getting them from relegation to second, and then finally the next season getting them to win. I suppose now we're seeing the kind of impact that he has, just like Pumuzo was saying. He's done well.
Yeah, I think he's done absolutely well. I mean, 2 out of 2. And with that, you then compete with the Orlando Pirates. And we spoke about just Marumo Gallants playing to their strengths. The first half, of course, I thought there was a lot more pressure coming from Orlando Pirates. But if you look at a Pirates team, we spoke about the ball recovery, the time on the ball recovery and the turnarounds. And we didn't see that from Orlando Pirates. They lacked that aggression. And then for me, it questions the spine of the team. I feel like in the second half, Orlando Pirates totally lost the spine of the team, the reference point in terms of the width, but also just someone that can take the responsibility to make sure that there's ball rotation, that the ball is equally distributed to both sides. But for Marumo Gallants, they had to stay resolute. A very decisive moment for me, the 26th minute when Arubi did the double save, because I think he kept them in the game for very long. And look what he did for them. They organized, played to their strengths, and when it mattered the most, they were clinical.
While the Marumo Gallants, who were extremely clinical and much the delight of the fans who were out there to enjoy yet another great game of Betway Premiership action out at the Dr. Petrus Mulimela Stadium. But your World of Champions does return with more of this. Out at the Dr. Petrus Mulimela Stadium, where it was Orlando Pirates who had the bulk of it. That's why we say a game of two halves. And that first half, within that first minute, it was Orlando Pirates who definitely tested the likes of Washington and Ruby. And for Pirates, it really seemed like this was great, especially after their pen appeal. But that half would have been great for them, Pumuzo.
I thought more of this would have been the order of the day in the second 45. Bokazi, delightful ball, finds Otto, good first touch. Late run by Tito, meets it at the perfect time, puts it in the back of the net. That ball was just inviting somebody to get at the end of it. And Tito makes a late run, gets into the box, scores the goal. Goal number 2 in all competitions. And I thought from here on, Pirates would kick on. But the resistance coming from Washington Arubi, I don't know how he's not man of the match tonight, but he really kept Marumo in the game.
He had a fantastic game as Washington Arubi, because there was also a point in time where he made a good 3 saves to keep Orlando Pirates out as they kept on testing for those goals. You also look at the kinds of opportunities that Pirates had here tonight, and more than anything, this is the one that I'm talking about, where as Arubi, we could have seen Pirates at least go 2 up at this point.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, there was a penalty appeal as well that could have been, I mean, it could have gone Pirates' way, and it could have changed the reflection of the game. But here they are, they still had an opportunity. 8, once again, passes for Marumo Gallants. And this is what we spoke about, that how is it the ball is recycled from the left to the right with so much time, but no one is going there aggressively enough to get the ball back. So the passiveness from Orlando Pirates really allowed for this goal to get in.
And then Sandami did so well to make sure to get Marumo Gallants that equalizer. And then it didn't end there for them. I mean, the likes of Jason Clifford make sure to at least get those all-important 3 points for Gallants.
I think we can't just run past this, because this is a drill from the training ground. Doki would tell you, you play the ball into the midfielder, plays it back, it goes wide, gets to the striker, he drops it to the 10, it goes far post, brought back. That's a great goal that Marumo Gallants scores. You have to ask Orlando Pirates in terms of the pressing, taking away space and time. They've got all the time to control, rotate, take it to the far post. I thought a game-changing pass was the Nhlapo ball over the top to Sitole. Then he drops it down with the head, and then Sendami is there to finish. Sipo Chain sees it a little bit late, but for me, a great team goal. And I think Coach Lafayette will be very proud of the boys in terms of the way that they took that goal.
Well, obviously, Marumo Gallants ended up winning that game 2-1. But in the first half, perhaps that could have taken out the steam and the energy from an Orlando Pirates side who would have felt very hot done by this incident at this point in time. Two incidents before leading to that penalty by Apollos.
Yeah, and I think, this would be an opportunity for Orlando Pirates to go into the break probably 2-0 up. Very typical of Orlando Pirates going out wide, playing that ball, playing that cutback, but you clearly see a handball at the first attempt of goal. That's the first attempt at goal, and that's a proper handball. The referee is positioned very well, and then there's a second attempt, and it's a clip from behind.
That's, again, on the Achilles of a police, as Kosana is nibbling at his ankle at that moment, and I thought this is the second opportunity for the ref to point to the spot, because I thought he didn't give the handball in the initial stage, because he's saying advantage. A police is in a good scoring chance, and then a police gets brought down, and I thought in that moment, that is the moment where you point to the spot, but he misses it on both occasions. Was that a game-changing moment? Maybe, we don't know, but in that instance...
At the level of Orlando Pirates by now, even if you were hard done at that point, surely you come back in the second half a bit more resurgent, because you know exactly what's at stake.
No. Every team, the 3 points is hard to come by. You can see that it's not going to be an easy season. And I thought Coach Lafayette, I have to give him the credit to say he looked at where Orlando Pirates were giving him problems. He closed them down the side, and what was left was for them to try penetrate on the inside. And on the inside, it was congested. I thought a good work that was done defensively by Nklapo today. We saw Pirates trying to make tactical changes, trying to influence the game also, but it did not work on their side. But with Coach Lafayette, I thought when Clifford came in, he looked energetic. He was hungry to get the ball, and he ends up getting the goal.
Just at the right time to give Gallants those 3 points. That is Clifford Jesse, who also managed to get himself a yellow for an excessive celebration.
Why not? It's his first goal of the season, and such an important goal at that, against a prolific team like Orlando Pirates. You come from the bench, and this is what the coaches always say when they mean you have to stay in the game. This is it. You come on as a sub, you've been watching the game, you see the areas where you can capitalize, and of course, defender blindsided and just couldn't really track where Clifford was coming.
When you look at this goal, there's a lot of coaching moment. Otto has to pick up a player that is left-footed, playing on the right. You don't want to show him inside, because if you show him inside, you're showing him to the stronger foot, which is the left foot. Now the cross comes in. Mashilwane is on the far post. We always speak about being open stance. When you're talking about being open stance, is your ability to be able to see your opponent and the ability to see the ball. So in that moment when Mashilwane is defending, all he can see is the ball. He can't see the man that is making a run on his blind side. So it's two coaching moments. Otto, you're picking up a left-footed player, don't allow him inside, rather force him outside to his weaker foot. He allows him inside, defines that half cross. On the far post, Mashilwane is supposed to see the ball and the opponent. He only sees one, which is the ball, and he doesn't see the late run being made by Clifford, and he puts it in the back of the net. Well taken goal.
Well taken goal, and it is Marumo Gallants who have that 2-1 win against Orlando Pirates. But going back to Capital City, that is Mamelodi Sundowns getting themselves 2 goals against Amazulu. At the half, it was already 0-0, but managed to at least come back. Ikram Reyners also met it the last time Sundowns and Amazulu met, and he repeats that feat again.
Yeah, no, of course, and I think you have to applaud the patient build-up from Mamelodi Sundowns. You can see that even though they are in the opposition's final third, there's still that patience and composure on the ball, waiting for the runners to create that space. And Ikram Reyners just pounces an opportunity unmarked.
And it's also a wonderful time for Sundowns, especially after all the pressure that they had with that 1-1 draw against Chippa United. But to manage to come back in the second half and really return to the muscle memory of the old Sundowns, or the kind of Sundowns that they expect to see, and this is exactly what happened.
I wouldn't say pressure. I would say after every game that you play, you go back to the training ground and you make corrections. In this instance, you look at Silas. secondary assist in the first goal that they score, and assist in the second goal that they score, has really been brilliant. Has started the season well. When I looked at the Sundowns results in the first game, I knew that the only thing is how champions bounce back. And Mamelodi Sundowns are showing you how champions bounce back, because you look at the number of opportunities that they created, 19 and 8 on target. So that says a lot about the quality and the corrections that were done from the mistakes that they made in the first game that they played.
And of course, Arturo Saleh's got the man of the match accolade here tonight, but Tashi Matthews was also quite brilliant, providing that assist and also scoring a goal.
Yeah, we spoke about, the impact from the bench and highlighted him as one of those individuals who operate very nicely in the tight spaces. And I think even just with that goal he scored, he's just waiting patiently for his moment, getting into the spaces. If it's not open for him, it's open for a teammate. And I think a very important goal just to put Mamelodi Sundowns at ease.
Puts them at ease and also takes them to second place, just behind Marumo Gallants on the Betway Premiership log standings. Not forgetting that tomorrow there still are some games to go. But going back to tonight, Orbit College, the Mswenko boys managed to at least get their first win in the top flight here tonight, and it was Litia Kwapeng who managed to get that goal for them.
We highlighted him to be the danger. We highlighted him to be the number 9, good technique on him, good first touch to set himself up. And you always say to young attackers or young forwards, when you're in an angle like that, you go across the goalkeeper. He does the basics so well, and that's why the goal looks easy. Well taken, first maximum points for Orbit.
And I suppose it then goes back to their game against Amazulu. Yes, it was an own goal that they got, but then Orbit College also want to come into the top flight and actually stamp their dominance and why they're here in the league. We spoke about the likes of Nuna Pulesaleng and the impact, but it seems that the veterans do come through and get those points for them.
Yeah, because it speaks to, structure and the shape that they keep, even though they're a team that likes to dominate ball possession. They like to keep the ball. They were starved of that this evening, but very efficient in a sense that if you get an opportunity, you need to make sure that you punish, and they were clinical in that regard. But for me, in that build-up, the intelligence or that dummy run of Saleng, it just shows the experience, because sometimes you just make a run as a striker, and it doesn't mean you're going to get the ball, but it opened up that space for Kopeng. And that's the telepathy that you want to see from an Orbit College who have been together for so long.
You mentioned a very important word, telepathy, and then I go back to the start of the build-up today. We mentioned that Siwelele, yes, at the Dr. Mulimela said, nothing, but away from home, perhaps we're going to see without that 12th man, like Lutonola Siama did say, how do they play? Yeah, you did, that's what I'm saying.
Any supporter you see you, Taco Bloemfontein, Zema Pushang, Zema Tusang. Mama pushes like a weekend. That's why we know Korali goals 8-3. But today, the supporters were not there. The supporters were for the home team, which was Orbit. That Magidi performance with the brace, that Vincent Pule performance with the goal was not there today. But let's also give credit. Let's take nothing away from Coach Pochiso, who came up with a plan to say, okay, maybe they might have better players technically. So I need the grit from my players to say, go that extra mile, Saleh, make that run off the ball. And even though you're not going to receive, but it will create space. Because when Saleh makes that run, the center back does not go tight. Now he's anticipating to go cover where Saleh is going. It gives Litia Kopeng an opportunity to then turn and have a shot at goal. But yeah, the supporters were not there and they were not pushed enough, this Siwelele.
Well, the game was out at Dopsy right here in Johannesburg. We're going to cross over there to hear from the coaches, that is Coach Pochiso and Siema, exactly how they saw this game tonight.
Coach Makonya, thank you ever so much for your time once more. First 3 points on the board.
We had to because we need to put at least a point on the scoreboard. And now we did it. What a way to do it, especially at home, even though it's away from home. But I'm happy for the boys. I think today they stood to the plan. And now we defended together as a team, and we had great moments, especially in the first half, to score the goals. But we had this never die attitude where we knew we'll get one, and we did indeed get one. It's going to be very difficult for a team to score against us.
Didn't have a lot of preseason for a side after playing the playoffs. You've chosen the same squad today. How long can they keep going, coach? Because the transfer window is still open.
I said we are okay because we are developing players. We want unknown players. I think that these boys, they deserve to play in the PSL. That's why we kept the same team. And now we knew we didn't have a lot of preseason. And we had to keep the same team because now they understand the system. Now, when you check the lineup, it's only Salem who's new into the team. And now at least this one player, we can accommodate him. And he's getting there and he's getting a big chances. I think once he gets his match sharpness, he starts scoring goals. So I'm happy for the boys. And we had a very, very difficult game because this team, I think, Coach Letlhogonolo, tactically very good, and we knew they wanted the space behind us. We had to control the space, and every plan that they come with, we had to respond to it. But he's a very, very tactical coach, so every time he was making us to change, and we were having answers in everything. When we tried to change tactically, we always have a plan for that.
Next encounter against Kukune United, tough one.
A tough one. They just beat Orlando Pirates, a team that they also work hard off the ball. So, but the difference is, remember, when they play Pirates wants to control the game, so it's easy now when they play Pirates because they just wait them. Now against us, it's a different game. They need to control the game, and we'll have to be the second best. Let's see if we allow them to control the game. How are they going to defend? Like if you check Siwelele today, when they were playing against Eros was controlling the game, so they were playing more on counter. So today we say let Siwelele have the ball, and we see how they respond to what they were doing to Eros. I think they failed to respond to that. That's why we got the call.
Congratulations on your first 3 points, coach. All the best going forward.
Thank you so much.
Coach Colonel Lusiema, coach, firstly, thank you so much for your time. Coach, thoughts on how the game went for your side?
Yeah, I want to say we thank God for allowing us to come and be here today. Yeah, coming to the game, we knew that it was always going to be a 1-0 margin win. From it could have gone either or, and for us, we managed to keep them at bay because if you could see first half, it's a team that is playing with energy and with the speed of Salem there, playing into the pockets there. We were trying to manage him, also trying to manage the space behind us because we knew that also they wanted to get that space behind us, and they give us a little bit of problem. And I think Kwapeng is giving them a vocal point that he was doing very well. And it's a team that, look, if you try to go high, they've got a very good technical keeper there. That technique is very well. And we had to mind that because of their speed. That was the only thing first half that we're struggling to balance them. And yeah, we had to defend till half time, and half time we said it, that there was nothing much that was going wrong. It was just to make sure that we try and become tight and make sure that we don't give them the chances, especially the half turns, the goal that they scored. They've been threatening like that since first half. So yeah, but look, we did not play bad. These guys played very well. Work in progress. That is why I told you that we are a team that is fighting relegation ourselves. So we are not gonna be carried away. And if you can see the chances that we created, we are a team that can try and create chances during open play, set pieces. We are threatening, and we'll work on them, and they will come. And yeah, it's a result that we did not expect or we did not want. But credit must go to Orbit. I think they stuck to their game plan and they played well, and up until they got the goal. But yeah, I'm happy that some of the players they got minutes now. They are slowly coming, and Magaman, after a long injury, he's back and he looked good to get some minutes, so we are building him up. And yeah, come next game, maybe 1 or 2 again, they'll be there and we try to get to our full strength.
Not a lot of time to rest. Fixtures are coming thick and fast.
Nah, I think after this one, we've got a little bit of time to go reflect and work and rest and then to try to recuperate before we can come and play Polokwane City next week, Tuesday. So we've got a bit of time and we don't complain. It's happening to everyone, but yeah, we want to say we are not giving up. We're still early age, we're still a new baby, and what is important is we shown the fight. We are playing away, and away is not easy. The teams that you visit, you are playing away to them, they're going to make it hard for you. And the way we played, I'm very happy. There's nothing that I can falter the guys, and we'll go back and try and work, because we still have a lot of work to do. And yeah, credit must go to the players. I can't falter the efforts.
Coach, hard luck with the results. All the best next week against Polokwane City.
No, thank you very much.